What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back in another video on the channel, and today we have another first. This is the first time ever that I'm trying Macedonian food. If you're unfamiliar with what Macedonia is, Macedonia, which was formerly known as the country of Macedonia, is now called North Macedonia, which is located in the Balkan Peninsula, southeastern Europe. Has been called North Macedonia since 2019. There is a pretty decent Macedonian population where I live, but I have never actually eaten Macedonian food. So I found a restaurant called Deja Bar and Grill, located in Garfield, New Jersey, and it has a 4.4 rating out of over 300 ratings on Google. And what it says is that a contemporary Balkan bar and grill that specializes in both American and Macedonian meals. So I found the most popular Macedonian meals on the menu. I went to the traditional menu part and I ordered them. So that is what we have today. Macedonian food. Never had it. Interested in trying it. I've had other Eastern European foods, but not necessarily Southeastern Balkan. Only done once, which was a Bosnian restaurant, which was a few years ago. But this is my first time trying Macedonian food. If I mispronounce anything, I sincerely apologize. Some of the stuff, language-wise, I don't know if I'm gonna get right, but I'm gonna try my best. So hit that thumbs up. You wanna see more. Let me know what your native country is. We're gonna do more countries instead of just regions. So drop it down in the comments and we'll see how many we can get through. I wanna take over the whole world with this kind of stuff because it sounds very interesting. But anyway, let's get into these meals. Starting with this one in the middle. I hope I don't mispronounce this, but what this is called is pasta Milesia pork. It is a traditional bread pie served with meat on the top. I did cut it in half so it could fit in the screen because it was a pretty large, like, flatbread looking thing. But what it looks like is just a simple flatbread with some pork on the top. The dough is very similar to what looks like pizza dough, but we'll see what it's hitting for. I'm just gonna bite it, right? You just bite it. I don't know if you're supposed to cut this or what, but we don't do that here. I could definitely get down with that. Yeah. I think I'm just going to rip it. I feel like it'd be easier to eat. I just going to fall apart though. Alright, but it gives you a good idea to look at what it looks like in the bottom. It does really resemble pizza dough. It looks like the dough is different though. Like, maybe like a wheat or something. Because the taste isn't very, like, it's not exactly the same as pizza dough, but the same kind of idea. The pork, show you the other side, has like a little roast on it. There's definitely some seasoning on here. And it's very tender. I think the pork is very tasty. I feel like maybe it was supposed to have a sauce or something, but if it didn't, it wouldn't really matter. What it did come with is what looks like pepperoncini almost. So I don't know if you're supposed to eat that with it. Almost like a Papa John's. But either way, I think it's delicious. It's very simple, good ingredients, and good seasoning. I guess I'm going to try. I'm not the biggest fan of like the pepperoncini that comes with Papa John's, but I feel like if they served it with it, you're supposed to just try it, right? Maybe give it a little like peppery flair or something. Let me bite off. Let me rip off a little piece of this flatbread. Come on. I'm trying not to get the pork to fall off, but unsuccessful AF. The fat has kind of come down from there and it's gotten on the dough, so it makes for like a nice bite. I actually like this. Pretty good. Alright, so we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna dig in. That's what it is. The pepperoncini. I can see why. I can see why. The real star of the show to me is this pork. Getting that pork fat down onto this dough. Which, if you made a pizza out of this, it would be really good. Because the dough is on point. Good crust, good undercarriage. Tender pork. Let's go one more bite. And I'm not really a pepperoncini guy, but I understand. That vinegary, peppery vibe that you get from this. Ain't no problem with this whatsoever. This is one of those things that, to me, is not like overly fancy. It's just good, simple, well-cooked food. That bite and the crust on that, I really like it. I really, really like this pork. I think maybe it's tenderloin, but it seems a little fattier, so maybe like a loin. I really like the fat getting down and kind of making this be like if you soaked it up. I also feel like you could do this and maybe like with one of the dishes that I'm going to try, because they gave me bread, which I think you're supposed to eat with the soup I got and some other things, but I feel like this would go even better with what I'm going to show you next. Just this dish right here, I'm going to take this bad boy out, I'm trying to keep it a little warm. And I hope I don't mispronounce this again, but it's called tavche grabche, and what that is a traditional earth clay bowl cooked white bean or kidney beans, white kidney beans. It's cooked in a clay bowl like a stew, which I actually grew up eating a lot of bean dishes like this, so I can definitely get down with that. But I'm gonna try it first, like with a spoon. It was supposed to come with rice, but I got bread, which I don't know, but I'm not really mad at that. I'm gonna try it first alone. There's also sausage in here, which doesn't traditionally come, but it had the option of adding like sausage or two other things, and I chose the sausage. So let's try tavche grabche. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. See, stuff like this, I just like stuff like this. Like, this is like, I don't have a problem with this at all. I feel like you gotta see me just all of a sudden get comfortable and dig in. Like, I was like, hold up, man, let's just do this. So, it's a hearty dish. Like, it's very heavy. I like heavy. But beans are one of those things, for me, that are inexpensive, but go a long way because they fill you up with all the fiber in here. The taste, and I think it's more because of the sausage, oil, like the sausage, I said sausage oil, but I meant like the oil from the sausage, like the fat, has cooked down into the meat and giving it a vibe that's like almost like a sausage and bean stew. Other than that, I feel like I'm getting red peppers. Let's try the bread. Let me see, like this. The first thing that I noticed about this is definitely wouldn't ever call this a soup. It is more of a stew. It's very, here we go, rich and heavy. There is not a lot of broth in here because of the starch from the beans. I definitely prefer this with like this flatbread. I just think the flatbread has a little more like oomph to it. But getting on here and I feel like this tastes like home. Not my home. I am clearly not from a Balkan country. But I mean, like, this tastes like someone's grandma would make something like this. Like, it's very, just seems like traditional. And I feel like that place, the bar itself, for people who are from that country, would go here to get like a taste of home. That's the vibe I'm getting from it. It's very good. Like, there's nothing complicated about it, but it's just good. It's so, it just seems so like traditionally good. I feel like this tastes like if I got to visit that country and got to eat at somebody's house. And that's what I hope they were striving to look for. Because if that be the case, you nailed it. Damn. It's like nothing crazy complicated. But when you eat it, you just feel like it's hearty and it just feels like a meal. And the sausage is actually very good as well. I feel like you could do like this. You know what I mean? I feel like no matter where you're from, when you start digging in, you start mixing stuff. Now, I don't know if there's anybody who's Macedonian who's gonna watch this, but if you are, am I wrong? Like, am I doing things wrong? Because I just feel like I just wanted, this is how you do it. You know, like you get in here. With the pork too. And the sausage. That's good, man. Alright, one more piece of bread. One more bite is becoming like a thing for me. I want to make sure I get some of that pork in there. This tail right here. Growing up, my grandmother and my parents, my mom would make it from time to time, but she made like this like white bean. It's very similar to this. We would serve it over rice and maybe like with some chicken, but it really does taste like that to me. Like, I'm not BSing you when I say that I'm really enjoying this. Very good. It gives me that same vibe, man. Love that. And we have another traditional dish again, and this one right here is actually called Selsko Meso. Selsko Meso. It's a traditional country-style dish. It has pork, sauteed with peppers, onions, tomatoes, mushrooms, tomato sauce, melted provolone cheese. I know provolone cheese. I love provolone cheese. You want to sign me up for provolone cheese? You can sign me up for provolone cheese. Now, same idea. I'm going to try this first with a fork because, see if I can get some cheese in here. I can see the tomatoes, all those spices in here. There's a mushroom. There's a mushroom. Yep. All right, so let's try this bad boy out. Selsko Meso. Ooh. Ooh. The acid from the tomato. With the provolone. This just, it's very hard to put my finger on what exactly I'm tasting. But the tomato base with the pork and the mushrooms. And of course this provolone cheese. I'm starting to notice a theme with the food overall. Very like meat and bread, meat and potatoes, stews, things like that. And I actually looked up Selsko Meso. And what it actually translates to is village meat. And what it traditionally was kind of what you had, make a stew out of it. You just described the first 10 years of my life. I'm all about that. And that's what it kind of gives you the vibe of, like, the meat and the mushrooms and the tomato and the cheese. I almost get like an Italian vibe, you know. Normally you don't see with pork in the chunks like this, but you see what I'm saying? Like with that kind of. And then what I would probably do, I'll take this bread and you soak up some of that goodness and eat it. With a tender piece too. Overall, I have no problem with it. I would definitely eat this again. It just seems like a hearty, nice meal. Like, and what we used to do growing up, I see the similarities in a lot of cultures. I would picture, if you were feeding a family, a big pot. Now you said you used clay pots, which we didn't use clay, traditionally. But same idea. Big pot. You can feed everybody. Inexpensive. Good tasting. And overall, like hearty, fulfilling, you know, like that kind of thing. And I completely understand. When you're talking tradition, this to me seems about as traditional as it gets. I think this is a W. This is definitely a W. And I'm sure that a lot of people from different countries and places, whether it's here in the United States or other countries, can relate to that concept. Food that doesn't cost a lot, that you make well, season it well, cook it well, and you can feed a lot of people with it. And that's how I grew up. So it's a dub in my opinion. Now we're going to get to the last thing, which was a beef soup. It was their most popular soup that they had. I cannot tip this over because I'll be wearing it if I did that. But I'm going to put this bad boy in the front and we're going to try a little bit of it. I don't know what's in it. I have not opened this yet. Ooh, yeah. Looks like carrots. Got some barley. Do I see celery? Onion, definitely. Got carrots. There's probably celery. I'm going to guess there's a mirepoix on this. I also got the bay leaf, which usually is good luck. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. All right, but let's see this. Bring this to me. Immediately to the bread. Immediately to the bread. I know y'all do this. Everybody do this. There's no way that y'all gave me 2 loaves of bread and didn't expect me to do this. So I'm just going to assume that you did. For the big soup. This meal, everything I ate, all I keep thinking is this is traditional as it gets. It's not complicated. The soup is robust. Yes, I just used the term robust because that's what I'm going to say it is. And it seems like it's cooked for a while to get that beef nice and tender, which it is. That is beef. And you can rip that apart. You got little pieces of potatoes, it looks like. This just seems to me like grandma's soup. You know what I mean? Like, I get the vibe right away. I really like this food. I just feel like this is like a meal. Like, I hope you guys are enjoying this series because I want to do more of it. And again, the dictates of always, if you guys are going to view and drop that thumbs up, that tells me, okay, you're enjoying this. I am enjoying doing not just different cultures, but different countries of stuff, because I've noticed that there's a difference. I had Balkan food before, but it was Bosnian, which had similarities with ingredients, but seemed a little more closer to like Turkish food. Let me get in here again. And again, drop a country down there in the comments and let me know. And we can definitely do some stuff like this. I like trying this different stuff for the first time. Overall, I don't know how easy it will be for you to find a restaurant from this country, but if you can, I love the experience of trying it. I think it actually is really good, and it's different from anything that I've really had to this level. I love that. I love, man. I keep picking at it. You can see me, I'm going crazy with my hands because if I had to tell anything to pick, I would do the Selsko Meso. I just feel like this is hearty, but the pork on the flatbread passed through my Deja, hopefully, pork. And these beans, and this bread, and that broth. Now, I've never had food from North Macedonia now, but judging by the ratings of a 4.4, people are enjoying it, and I would guess that people that are from that country would go to this place to get a traditional meal, and I feel like they definitely nailed the essence of that, and if that was their intention, bravo. You can chalk it up. They make good food in North Macedonia. Absolute W. I can't stop freaking eating it. Okay. Let me get like this more. More bite. Alright, Oh, she finally did it. The pork didn't fall off. You gotta get beans too, though, to go with the flatbread. Now one more, just to keep it even over here. Make sure I get some cheese, some of those onions, and that. Ooh, hold on. Yeah, we gotta do this with this one. This one's gotta go on bread. This one's gotta go on bread. Right? You grab it like this, and you got yourself like a vessel. I finally got it. That reminds me of sausage and peppers. Like Italian sausage and peppers. Except they use pork chunks. But the flavor is the same. When I put it on bread, that's immediately where I went. If you hollowed out this bread and you put that on there, that's what you have. I love that. That's why I knew it was familiar. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Finally did. That's why you keep eating. That's why we're fat. That's why I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow, again, more content. I love y'all, man. Hand signs. They made it to YouTube.